I'm going to put together here a Rev A Shelf. I read a lot of the reviews online and they said some people said it took 4 hours to put one together, and I really don't see it. There's my tools. And actually, I don't need this one. There's my tools. So we're going to open it up and I'll show you what's in. This is a 12-inch model for 20-inch deep drawer, I think. So you have your two shelves in here. You'll slide your shelves out. There's drawer runners in them, as you can see. Set that down. Set your stuff down on a piece of plywood or cardboard or something. Don't set it on the carpet because these drawer runners come with pre-greased. And what happens is you don't want to get this. You don't want to get it on your carpet. So I mean, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it in my study, and the mounting brackets. So altogether, you don't have that many pieces. I'll lay these out and I'll show you how they set together. Okay, here's your parts. Your two wire basket drawers. They come with the runners pre-attached. There's a frame, and the back frame, your instructions and screws. If you don't know how to take these drawer slides out, you just slide it back all the way and you'll see that little tab right here. You want to push that down while pulling on the drawer slide with the other hand. Okay, and the slide, sorry about that, the slide comes out. Okay, that's what your drawer runner looks like once it's out. And that's what it looks like on the basket once it's out. Here's what it looks like with the parts ready to assemble. There's your metal screws. I separated out the wood screws to attach these to the cabinet later on. And there's your 4 drawer slides. Front part of the frame, back part of the frame, which they're identical, so it doesn't matter. And the back brace. And I just have them stacked up over here. You can see I'm installing 5 of these today. So I'll get them set up to show you how to put the runners on. Here's the first one set to put the first drawer slide in. Now these screws will go in these holes right here. You want to put it in the round hole first. Right there. It's hard to do with one hand, but they want to go in the round hole, and then that's the back. And this is the front. My screw fell out. Okay, I'm gonna need 2 hands. I have to set this down. Here's the top and bottom runners on the one side. This side does not have them on. This is for your bottom runner. This sits on the base of the cabinet. Here's your screw holes to screw it into the base of the cabinet. They don't change. The lower drawer, and up here you have your upper drawer, and you have an option, the lower setting or the higher setting. It depends on the height of your cabinet. I believe these are set for a minimum height cabinet of 19 inches. I like them down at this level. It gives a little bit more room for the top drawer, but that's your choice. Now this one on the top, in the back, and make sure all your runners are facing in the same direction when they're extended. That's the front. This one will lift up, and this bracket here, actually it goes underneath, will sit like this, in between the runner and the frame, and it sits in there like that. Leave these screws loose until you install it into the cabinet. You bump this back to the back of the cabinet wall and attach it here and here to the cabinet wall. So it's attached at actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points to the cabinet base. This, once again, is a base cabinet, Rev A Shelf, double drawer. I can't remember the model number. So I'm going to put it together and then I'll show you. So I've got all 4 of these put together now, along with a wider one. This one is 20 inches wide. These are 12 inches wide. I wanted to show you something. I've got the drawers set up in this one. This is how it's going to look in the cabinet. Here's your mounting points for the back wall, right here and here. And you can see I've left this loose so you can bump it in or out depending on, how deep your cabinet is. The depth of the drawers, sorry for vibrating here, but the depth of the drawers is about 9-10 inches max for the bottom drawer at this elevation of the drawer runner. And then your top drawer is, the rails are 5 inches high. So you can see, you have 17 inches to the top. Now that's, for a 19-inch cabinet, you'd have 2 inches of clearance over top of this. So if you look at this, you have 2 inches between these holes. So if you have a 19-inch cabinet, this rail, this top rail on this style is going to be extremely close to your face frame on your cabinet, if you have face frame cabinets. Just something to think about when you're putting these together. Also, they do have the Rev A shelves that don't have this second shelf. They just have your bottom shelf. So if you have something really big that you need to put in your cabinet, you could eliminate this altogether. You could eliminate this altogether right now, but this one costs about $30, $20-30 more than the single shelf unit. So it's up to you what you want to do. These are actually going in a wide cabinet. I'm going to have one side by side in each of these wide cabinets. My doors are 13.5 inches wide, and this unit here is almost 12 inches wide. So I'll have a little bit of space between them because these will go up against this will go against that wall, and the next one will go against the other wall, and I'll have a couple inches between them, and I thought that'd be good for cookie sheets or cutting boards, that sort of thing. I'll get back to you once I get them installed. So here's one of the frames sitting inside the cabinet. These ends of the drawers, runners, should be 1/4 of an inch back from the face frame. And then what I do is I get it about 1/4 of an inch back. You got to be careful too, your hinges here. You want to make sure you have enough clearance. It just don't have it tight up against it is all. Here's your mounting hole. Measure from the face frame back to the mounting hole, and make it sure it's the same on this side, and then put your 2 front screws in, and then measure your distance from your either side of this runner to the wall, to your side wall, and make sure it's the same in the back, and then you should be good. Hopefully your cabinet is square. If your cabinet isn't square, then you'll need to make sure you have these runners square with the frame. Otherwise the drawers are going to sit in there cockeyed. So I'll get this mounted in and get back to you. And there's your loose bar. You can see where it attaches to the back wall to help stabilize it. Okay, here it is installed. The framework anyway, without the drawers in it. You have your front screws, 2 back screws, and your back brace screws. Push that back up against the wall, put your screws in it, and then as soon as you get that done, don't forget to snug those screws up for your runner on both sides. And then you're pretty much done with that. These are set back on mine 1 7/8 inches from the face frame, both sides. And this this frame here was 1 inch from the wall in the front, so I made it 1 inch from the wall in the back. And you can see I have room on the side for, you know, maybe some cookie sheets or cutting boards, whatever. And it's pretty much that way with all of them. Another thing to remember is you have 2 different size wood screws. If your base is 1/2 inch, right, this wood screw here is going to go through your frame, and then it's going to go through your base, and it's going to stick out underneath. If that doesn't bother you, go have at it. You get 4 of these longer ones with a unit, and you get 3 of these shorter ones with a unit. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I put the shorter ones in the front. There's never really going to be any stress on these. This is just to hold it in place. Your major stress will be in the back, because when you roll these out, when you roll your drawers out, all your down pressure is going to be on here, but there's going to be up pressure on those back ones. So that's where I put the big ones, and I use the other 2 big ones in the back brace. Okay? And that's it. I'll put the drawers in and show it to you. So here it is, loaded. And I got a big one down the bottom, but like I said, you can see there's room on the side for stuff. They work really nice. They're clean. They're easy to get out. You know, if you get the cabinet dirty or anything, just pop a drawer out, wipe it off. I've made these before out of wood. Trust me, it's not worth the effort. You save money, but you spend a lot of time making them. And by the time everything is said and done, you can't keep them clean. So these are great. I'd recommend them to anybody. Yeah. Hope it all works out for you. On my other cabinet, that cabinet is narrower. It's 24 inches, I think. This one's 27. So what I'm going to do on this one is have the 2 smaller ones side by side. You'll be able to open up one door and slide it out without opening up both doors. Whereas on this one, you have to have both doors open to slide it out. Okay, I hope that helps everybody. Thank you.